dominion. He moved with calm steps that hid the flicker of unease in his chest. The citadel loomed like a mountain forged from crystal and living stone. Its walls pulsed with soft color that shifted with the beat of the alien world. Rian had walked through many alien capitals, but none carried weight like this place. The Valar were a powerful empire known for strict honor, unmatched senses, and their deep family codes. They were also known for a single figure who could bend destiny across systems. Their queen, Rian had seen her only twice before, at distances respectful enough to keep tensions low. Today, he was summoned to meet her again. He told himself he was ready. He was not. Inside the citadel, hallways curved like veins glowing with slow light. Guards stood in living armor that rippled with motion. They watched him without blinking. Their eyes shone like polished obsidian. Rian met their gaze with steady calm, because humans had learned early that fear near Valar. Soldiers did not go unnoticed. Rian reached the inner hall where the queen waited. Two enormous doors parted as if obeying a silent breath. The chamber beyond opened into a vast space shaped from shimmering blue crystal. At its center stood the queen, tall and graceful with silver markings running across her skin. Her presence felt like a rising tide. Strong, patient, impossible to ignore. She raised her chin when she saw him. Her voice resonated through the chamber like a soft chime. Rian of Earth, you avoided my daughter during the peace summit. I have summoned you to understand why. The question struck harder than he expected. He tried to stand taller, though the weight of the moment pressed on him. He had known this question might come, but he had not prepared a lie. Humans did not fear truth-sayers. They feared disappointing those who carried power with mercy. Rian bowed in the way Valar customs required. Your Majesty, I meant no disrespect. The queen studied him. She stood in robes that flowed like woven starlight, her eyes clear and sharp. Then why did you turn away when she approached you? She asked this in a tone so even that no one could guess whether she felt insulted or curious. Rian breathed out. He sensed the guards shift behind him. He sensed the hall listening. Most of all, he sensed the rippling presence of the queen's daughter, who stood near the far end of the platform. The young heir named Lyra watched him with quiet attention. She was regal, though not yet hardened by rule. Her gaze held a depth that made Rian's throat tighten. He forced himself to speak. Your daughter is kind, brave. I avoided her because I did not want to mislead her. The hall grew strangely still. The queen narrowed her eyes. Mislead her how all? Rian fought the urge to step back. He had faced firestorms. He had walked through alien battlefields. None of that compared to this moment. He answered with care. Your Majesty, Lyra has a gift. She sees strength in others. She sees what they can become. She sees what they could mean for her people. I am only a man who came here to help make peace. I am not worthy of the hope she directed at me, God. The queen's slow inhale echoed like shifting crystal. Guards exchanged looks. Lyra herself stepped forward. She kept her voice calm, but her tone held a note of emotion. You are wrong, Rian. You showed courage when your ship fell near our border. You protected the wounded even when our patrols mistook your crew for raiders. You stayed until we understood the truth. Mother told me your actions prevented a war. Rian shook his head. That was duty. Lyra replied, many choose retreat when danger comes. You ran toward it. That is rare. The queen raised a hand. The hall returned to silence. She looked at Rian with unreadable depth. My daughter does not attach herself lightly. Few have earned her respect. Yet you say you avoid her because you fear unworthiness. Rian swallowed. Yes, the queen stepped closer. Each movement from her felt like shifting gravity. She circled him once, studying him with the gaze of a ruler who had seen centuries of conflict. She stopped in front of him again. Then she asked the question he had hoped she would never ask. Tell me the real reason. Rian's jaw tightened. The real reason was tangled and heavy. The real reason was something he carried since the day his people made first contact with the Veiler. He had seen how humans sometimes harmed what they admired. He had seen mistakes turn into conflict. He had seen hope transform into ruin. His fear was not selfish. His fear came from the history of his species, yet he answered without hiding. I avoided her because I am human. The Queen blinked. Explain. He lifted his head. Humans are flawed. We rush into things with emotion. We form bonds too fast. We break them just as fast. We make promises without thinking of the weight they carry for others. Your people live by long memory and long loyalty. Humans live by impulse. I feared I would harm her by letting her believe a bond with me could last. The Queen grew still as a statue. Even the glowing walls seemed to pause. Lyra took another step forward. Her voice trembled with frustration. You think I would not understand your nature. You think I am fragile. You think I seek you because you are perfect. Rian shook his head again. No, I think you see the best in me, and I fear I will not live up to it. The Queen gestured gently. Lyra, let him finish. Rian felt his chest tighten as he continued. I saw how your people value connection. I saw what it means when one Veiler chooses another to stand beside. That choice is life-binding. I cannot offer the same. Humans live shorter lives. We change paths. We crumble under burdens your people carry with ease. If I let myself stand close to your daughter, I fear I would give her expectations I cannot meet. The Queen closed her eyes. For a brief moment, the chamber felt like an ancient temple remembering old losses. When she opened them again, her gaze had softened. Her voice lowered. You believe your fear protects her. Rian nodded. Yes. The Queen stepped forward until she stood only a breath away. She was taller than him, but not enough to make her presence a threat. Instead, she felt like a guide, a force of calm. She touched a hand to his shoulder. Hear me well, Rian. I have lived through 5 cycles of eras. I have seen empires fall. I have seen alliances fade. Not once have I blamed another for the limits of their nature. You fear being human because humans are a storm. But storms bring renewal, growth, hope. Rian looked away. Your Majesty. She tilted his chin so he faced her again. My daughter did not seek a perfect companion. She sought someone who acts from heart. Someone who stands even when his voice shakes. Someone who chooses peace over pride. Do you deny that she found this in you? Rian could not speak. He had no answer that did not reveal how deeply her words cut. Lyra approached slowly. Her steps were soundless on the crystal floor. When she reached him, she looked up with eyes that shone like starlit water. Rian, I never expected you to match our traditions. I never asked you to bind your life to mine. I only wanted you to let me walk beside you while peace grows between our peoples. Rian exhaled softly. That is a heavy request. Lyra smiled faintly. Heavy for one. Lighter for two. The Queen nodded. My daughter asks not for promises you cannot keep, but for honesty. In return, she will give the same. That is how bonds begin. Not with perfection. Not with certainty. With clarity. Rian felt his resistance crack. But fear still lingered. He whispered, What if I disappoint her? Lyra answered gently. Then you rise again as humans do. And I will rise with you. The day began with a hush across the silver plains as the human visitor named Rian walked toward the grand citadel of the Veilorth Queen touched Rian's shoulder once more. You avoided her because you believed avoidance would spare pain. But silence causes wounds deeper than any truth you fear to reveal. Rian's chest ached as if a weight lifted yet still left a mark. He understood now that the queen had summoned him not as a ruler confronting a slight, but as a mother witnessing a misunderstanding that could shape the fate of two civilizations. He bowed deeply. Then he looked at Lyra with sincerity he had avoided for too long. "If you still wish my company, I will not run again." Lyra breathed in with relief. "I never wanted you to run. I only wanted you to see that your fear did not match what I saw in you." The queen stepped back, her expression calm but warm. "Then it is settled. Walk with her. Learn with her. Grow with her. If in time your paths stay aligned, good will come to both our people. If they drift, let them drift with respect. This is enough." Rian felt something inside loosen. A quiet acceptance. A shift from tension to possibility. Lyra extended her hand. "Will you walk through the gardens with me?" Rian hesitated for only a heartbeat. Then he placed his hand in hers. "Yes, Dot." As they walked out of the chamber, the queen watched with a look that held pride and silent approval. For the first time since the question had been asked, her silence did not carry judgment. It carried respect. Outside, the garden shimmered with floating blossoms that followed the breeze like tiny lanterns. The sky glowed with twin suns low on the horizon. Lyra walked beside him with steady steps. Neither rushed the moment. Neither filled the quiet with empty talk. The silence between them was no longer fear-driven, but calm. Rian felt himself breathe easier. For the first time, he realized that avoiding her had been a choice born from doubt, not wisdom. Standing with her now felt like stepping into a path he had denied himself. Lyra turned to him. "You still look worried." Rian offered a small smile. "I worry about many things." She laughed softly. "And yet you face them." He shook his head. "Not always." She nudged his arm. Then stark now, they walked until the sky shifted colors. The blossoms drifted around them like soft planets pulled by unseen tides. In this strange alien garden far from Earth, Rian understood something he had resisted. Connection was not about matching destiny. It was about sharing steps. When they returned to the Citadel gate, the queen stood waiting as if she had known exactly when they would arrive. She looked at them both. Her gaze held the calm of someone who saw 1,000 possibilities and welcomed each one. Rian bowed once more. "Thank you, Your Majesty." She nodded. "Protect the bond you form." "That is all I ask." Lyra stood taller beside him. "I believe he will." Rian exhaled with a quiet acceptance. For the first time, he felt ready to face the uncertain future that waited beyond the gates of the Valar Dominion. The queen stepped aside and let them pass into the path lit by evening light. Her silence remained, but now it carried understanding. And Rian walked forward, knowing that the answer he gave her had changed more than he expected. It had changed him.